Today it's still the 22nd of May, 2026, and I am going to finish Luke's account of the birth of John the Baptist. What's so wonderful about the four synoptic gospels is you have four different vantage points, four different types of writers, four different personalities and angles. And Luke, Theophilus, doctor, just very detail-oriented, gives us this real deep background in Mary, Elizabeth, Zacharias, what happened when these two critical people, obviously Jesus being the Son of God, but John, without Jesus and John were a pair. And you have relatives. You have Elizabeth, relative to Mary. So they're linked up family-wise. Elizabeth, priestly line. Mary, kingly line. King priest. That's what Jesus was coming to be. And John the Baptist, who no one in Zacharias' family was John. So it was God's way of testing. I'm going to name him my own name. And John was the name chosen. It's a big deal. My name's Jonathan, tied to David. My middle name's David. Those two names are very significant to what I'm called to do. Names matter. When you name a child, pray. Ask God to tell you the name. So Luke chapter 2, verse 1, verse 57. Now Elizabeth is her full time came for her to be delivered this baby. And she brought forth a son. And when her neighbors and relatives heard how the Lord had shown great mercy to her, they rejoiced with her. So she had hid herself for 5 months. She hung out with Mary for 3 months. And then the baby, John the Baptist, is born. Now her relatives, knowing she was barren for a long time, feeling like she was cursed, all the bad stuff that goes with that, in that culture and in that reality. Now she's bringing out of her womb this incredible human being named John the Baptist. So it was on the 8th day, according to the laws of Moses, which God wanted kept for Jesus, for John, for all the people of Israel, that they came to circumcise the child, and at the same time they're going to name the child. So this is where we get into a step of faith for Zacharias, the father of John the Baptist. And they would have called him by the name of his father, Zacharias. His mother answered and said, "No, he shall be called John." Now, why was his mom, Elizabeth, so insistent? Because she had an encounter with an angel. God spoke to her, she heard, and she responded by obediently naming. That's a big deal. So again, this name is huge. It's huge. Like Jesus, for the example of Simon, one of his key disciples, the first one to preach after the day of Pentecost, he changed his name to Peter. Thou shalt be called Peter, which means rock. So the name is huge. And she said, "No, his name shall be called John." But they said to her, "There is no one among your relatives who is called by this name." So they made signs to his father, because remember, he's mute, can't talk, because he didn't believe the report of the angel Gabriel. And they asked the father, what should his name be? And he asked for a writing tablet and wrote, saying, "His name is John." So they all marveled. And immediately his mouth was opened and his tongue was loosed, and he spoke, praising God. Then fear came upon all who dwelt around them, and all these sayings were discussed throughout all the hill country of Judea. So this story, this account of John the Baptist's birth, was a stirring event And what it did is it set the people up for the eventual rise of Jesus. This would be remembered throughout Judea, that hill country area, all the way to when they were scattered to the four winds. The story of John the Baptist, his neighbors, his family members, how he was born, where he was born, what he did, they all knew he was special. So may God bless the meditation of his word.